So Home Depot is actually a really good example right now. Home Depot had a monster day to the downside, and active traders would have been building a monster argument, especially if they were in my office in New York City, saying, I don't understand, why can't I short it, why can't I short it? And the real answer is, well, that's because the institutions have been buying the stock for the last 3 weeks, and it's been basically in a obvious bullish uptrend. I like to say order flow because I like everybody to visualize behind the charts that there's actually buying going on. Order flow means large flow of orders creating this move from 191 up to 215.5. So that's the longer term order flow. Cash flow would be a trade decision that you make only on the shorter time frame. Now, what's interesting, it could be based on two candlesticks that are just well offered, and you decide to trade these stocks intraday short only for cash flow, which means you don't build a position, you don't add to a position. All you do is get in, get out, and go to the next trade. You're not trading aggressively. You're just looking for that move. So you have to make a decision as a trader, and then we combine that with the game, 10-minute games or 30-minute games, 15-minute games. You can literally always be on the right side of a trade for the duration of either the trade with real money or the duration of the game if you happen to be trading battle stocks, just by combining order flow with cash flow, which will ultimately dictate, and this is the cool part about this, your trade management. And this is really one of the biggest parts that is kind of a secret in trading. I don't know if that's the kind of right word for it, but too many traders, and I'll just put up this 15-minute chart here again, too many traders will be looking at these shorter time frames. So let's take a look here at Home Depot and see this as the end-all, be-all of everything. Now, granted, today it was a monster, awesome down day, an awesome bearish day for cash flow. And I'm gonna really drill this home before we start to get into looking at the actual charts and looking at the top 25 here. If Home Depot traded above the opening price and the stock was well bid, meaning higher highs and higher lows in the direction of the longer term order flow, those are order flow trades, and the trade management is hold those trades longer, build positions, and generally speaking, unless the whole world changes while you're in the positions, you'd be holding those trades longer. If you're trading Home Depot in what it did today, which was bearish momentum, which means only today's price action, against the higher time frame, your now trade management is cash flow only. And what does that mean? Well, let's go down to the shorter time frames and we'll make it very clear. 15-minute chart. That means that if you choose to trade this cash flow trade against this longer term trend, you are only looking to put the trade on and get out as soon as you start to see where the stock is slowing down or bottoming out. And then you'd look to do it again. So in this case here, you would short it, inside candle, you'd get out, look to get back in, inside candle, bottom candle, you'd get out for a half an hour and then look for another trade. The point is, when cash flow, and I'm going to go back out to the daily again, and I can't overstate this enough. If you guys don't know, my firm in the city, we actually got to the point where we were trading 500 million shares per month. That's a lot of trading. And you start to learn what works in a really big way and what doesn't work. Nobody on the planet will ever convince me about what I just showed you doesn't work. It absolutely works because there's no other way it can be. If you're trading with the big money, you can be a little bit more aggressive. So your trade management, you know before the trade. If you're trading against the big money, your cash flow is the trade, and your trade management is known before the trade. Too many traders go into the day saying, I'm not sure how I'm going to hold the trade. I'm not sure how long I'm going to hold the trade. I'm not sure. That's BS. That means you don't know what you're doing. You need to get the plan. You need to pay attention to what's going on. Your trade management should be decided before the day starts. Now, I know you can hear, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, but there's going to be so many days where something monstrous happens, something out of the blue. You're not trading for what happens out of the blue. You're trading for what happens most of the time, but you follow your rules all of the time.